Okay, so this is game number 3 of a match, of a bullet match, the 4th bullet match I organize, because I realize that these engines are so powerful that it doesn't make much sense also to give them 1 minute per move. I will do another match which will be 1 minute per move between Pikafish and Fairy Stockfish, because thanks to a friend I have this chance to make them fight against each other. Tuttavia, however, I notice that they reach such a depth that I don't think any human can really understand, so it doesn't make much sense. Because like I said, for example, for these games, bullet games, normally Fairy Stockfish would reach 12 moves in a second, between 12 and 15 moves in a second. So not plies, we are speaking of entire moves, okay? So who is the human being that can see 15 moves ahead in 1 second? There is no such a human being. And we are speaking of a bullet game, 1 minute for the entire game, with 5 seconds increment per move. Because I was sure that Cyclone wasn't able to respect the time control, and in fact he lost most of the games for time. However, it didn't lose all the games. Some games were won by red, because also for Fairy Stockfish there were some problems in some openings. So I think it's a kind of very interesting. And the choice of seeing the games from the black side, it's because the main idea is that if we see enough games of a champion, we will acquire that style. In this case, we can acquire the opening repertoire made by Stockfish over 100 games, which should give a pretty good sample of openings. And so that's, for me, it's important. So this was game number 3. As I mentioned before, also game number 3 is won by Fairy Stockfish for time. But we can see also, if he won for time, already now he has a good advantage, because this central cannon is generally a problem. And here we can see that red came back to try to pin and skewer everybody on the D file, and obviously black immediately removed the king. Now, another thing I want to do that maybe will be possible in a little bit will be to make an analysis of these games. So the video will become longer, while the idea in the beginning was to make short videos that were like 1 minute, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but not 12 or 20 minutes. Why? Because I think in today's society nobody really has that kind of time, and many times they make you fall asleep, right? Which maybe can be a good thing if you suffer of sleeplessness. I mean, you suffer of insomnia, then to have a good 20 minutes video of analysis, it's perfect. If not, here game number 3 was won by Fairy Stockfish, in this case for time, but as we can see the game is practically over.